I'm in the middle here of like posting, hey everybody. I'm like, oh my god, I have to get this out and do this on the socials and that. And I'm like, oh my god, but I have to go live. Oh my god.
I was doing exactly the same thing.
You're doing the exact same thing. Yeah. Welcome to Invest in Yourself, the digital. Wrong show. Sorry. Welcome to Feel Better, the Feel Better show. Sorry. What show am I? Aaron, what show am I on?
I don't know. Is it Aaron's? No, it's not mine. No, it's
yours. Records tomorrow, and I put it out on Monday. That's how it works.
What day is it, Phil? What year is it? Who's the president? I don't know.
God, no one knows. But ladies and gentlemen, I am, of course, Phil Better. He is the pop culture expert extraordinaire. Aaron Talks Films, who runs a podcast that just fills you up with so much news, usually sequel news on a run you've been having lately, but it's fine. I am the Podcast Mogul. I get people podcasts from 0 to top 10 lists like I'm doing with Aaron. But Aaron, tell us about your week. Enough about me gloating about who I am and how many wins I have, like getting a sponsor for the podcast, Invest in Yourself, the digital entrepreneur podcast right here, added to the, I don't have an eclectic thing like you. I just got Mickey over my shoulder.
I'm currently being sponsored by Captain America and Negan at the moment, and Negan. And there's too much to name in this room. It's been a long week.
Sponsorships. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I feel very tired, but very refreshed at the same time. I think mentally tired after getting through what I had to get through to get to this episode, which we'll get into a bit later on.
Oh, yeah. If you guys are watching, just a quick thing. If you are watching live, make sure you hit that hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, hashtag replay. And if you're listening to the audio version of this, comment on the social media post at Feel Better Show. Let us know what you think. But yeah, Aaron, go ahead. What were you doing?
Again, it's just been a long week. There was 2 big movies that came out on Friday, and I've not seen either of them, and I'm very upset.
Which 2? I remember the Suicide Squad. What's the other one?
Jungle Cruise.
Oh, that's right, The Rock and the Jungle Cruise.
And I completely ignored everything to do with that movie because I thought it's a movie that stars The Rock. I kind of get it. I'll probably get around to it.
He's there bouncing his muscles and he saves the day. That's all you
need to know. And then on Thursday I saw a clip from that movie and I thought, this is fucking awesome. This looks really good.
It does. I've been checking out the trailers and that, and I've been loving it. So yeah.
Yeah,
I'm going to talk to you off air. I have something I just popped in my head. I need to let me write it down.
Ooh, the secrets that Phil has from me is endless. Every time I come on, he's like,
hey, I do tell you the secrets after. I just don't tell it to the audience.
I'm still waiting for the last one that you were supposed to tell me. I asked you.
Yeah, I'll tell you after the show. I wanted to wait till now.
Oh, okay.
So I see you face to face, so I can see your glow, and you're like, oh my God, you're amazing. Anyways.
I'm so happy. Jungle Cruise looks good, and I will get around to it. It was not in my radar until Thursday, and now it's like, oh my God, it's out, and I've not had a chance to watch it yet. It's right there on Disney Plus. It's right there, but it's money. So
yeah, no, it's a bit much. Give me a second here. I'm just sharing as well. Share now.
But I've heard good things about the Suicide Squad. I've heard.
Yeah, it looks fun. Look, Nathan Fillion, you can't go wrong when you have an amazing guy like Nathan Fillion in the movie. So
yeah, and James Gunn directing.
It's win-win-win right there.
Yeah, it's a home run. If that's a. You
got Margot Robbie, who's playing an amazing Harley Quinn.
John Cena, who you can barely see. He's in there somewhere.
Yes.
And he just
turned back up in WWE actually.
Yeah, he just turned back up. He's going for Roman Reigns.
Yeah, but then Finn Balor slides in and is like, yeah, but that's for Better Paying a wrestling podcast, which is Mondays at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. If you want to check out that. Usually every other Monday or Mondays. We have some big things coming. But anyways, this is the Feel Better Show. It's a movie podcast review, pop culture news oriented. Let's jump into some news. You sent me some photos about some news, so I'm going to share that right now on the screen with everybody. Here we go. First one, if you can see, there we go. It's a live action Pokemon series in development at Netflix. Can you tell me more about this? What's going on here?
All I know that it's, as you can see there, it is being written and produced by Lucifer co-showrunner. Apparently Lucifer's very good. I've seen a few episodes of that. My wife was very much into it, and that looks quite good. So if Joe Henderson, who writes that, is half as good as what I think he is, then yeah, why not have a live action Pokemon series? You know, the film did very well. I was very surprised by how good that movie was. Um, you know, a kid from the 90s like myself and yourself, we grew up, you know, with the Pokemon cartoon series and kind of have that set in our minds. So when the movie was announced, I was a bit like, that's not going to look good, but it looked amazing. And you know, if they can bring that into a TV series to run alongside the cartoon series, which is surprisingly still going,
Right.
then why
So
not?
wait, I just have to say something. I apparently Ash died.
No, I don't think so. My wife is very much into Pokemon. She loves Pokemon and she watches the cartoon series. And if something as monumental as that would have happened and stuck, she would have told me. So as far as I'm aware, he's not dead. But I can't give you 100% fact on that because again, it may have happened like recently because she's not. I believe there's a new series out that she hasn't caught up with yet. But as far as I'm aware, he's still alive.
Okay. Anyways,
yeah,
okay, let's move on.
yeah.
Other than showing stuff on my computer, so yeah, live. I think it would be great. You know, I love the movie was great with Ryan Reynolds. Obviously, probably he's not going to be there. It's probably going to be more of the
Yeah,
beginning or after, but it would be interesting.
yeah. I mean, the picture that they've got here that they shared is obviously from the movie. I can't guarantee it, but I can all but guarantee that it will not be with those people. It's probably just going to be a separate story. You know, just using the same kind of
People.
like CGI and the same look that they use for the movie.
All right, what's another Paranormal Activity movie?
And it's finished. It's already been filmed. Who knew? I didn't know anything about this. But yeah, as you can see there, it will arrive on Paramount Plus this year. And again, Paramount Plus is a thing as well. So yeah, Jason Blum from the Bloomiverse. I can't. Blumhouse, is it?
Yeah,
Blumhouse.
Blumhouse. They're amazing production house of horror movies. They did The Purge. They've done like so many great movies.
Yeah, and the thing with these movies is that they're good. They're not brilliant. You know, they're
formulaic.
They service the need that they need to service. You know, because it puts butts in seats, and they can make a movie for like $1,000 and just throw it out in cinemas.
Out of it.
Yeah, exactly. So these sort of movies, they will keep going. And
what I like about Blumhouse, a lot of indie directors that are big guys now started on Blumhouse.
Yeah, because they can go there.
Yeah, you start there.
Yeah.
You get a low budget of 100K. Like you have 100K, make a movie, and they're like, okay, let's make some crazy shit. Let's see what we can do. They make this amazing movie. It always breaks records because it's only costs like 100K to 200K to make, and it's grossing like millions of dollars.
Exactly, and again, you know, like I say, I didn't even realize this movie was coming. It's already been made, and it's coming out. It says this year. I can imagine around October sort of time.
Yeah,
that'd be the obvious choice. But yeah, I mean, they're going to keep making these movies because they make money, and they're just going to keep pumping them out as much as they can.
I'm not sure. I didn't watch any others. I've seen glimpses of them, but no, I don't mess with the paranormal.
No, I know I've seen the first 3, but then it kind of diverts and they all circle around each other. And I think I've seen like number 5, and it ends up at the beginning of the first one or something. I don't know. It gets very confusing.
You have to watch them all in a row just to understand it.
Yeah, but like I say,
it's kind of like Tales from the Loop. Have you watched Tales from the Loop?
No.
It's on Amazon. It's amazing.
I think I keep seeing adverts for that.
You should watch it. Anybody who's watching live right now with us or listening to the replay or on audio format where you can download on any of your podcasting choice, let us know, obviously, in the show notes or in the comments, hashtag have you seen Tales from the Loop on the social media post. Let us know if you've seen Tales from the Loop, and if you have, say what was your favorite episode. But yeah, so we have Paranormal Activity 7 coming out on Paramount Plus, which is a thing. Let's move on to some more news here. Disney Predator reboot gets the official titles, plot, and timeline detailed are revealed. Dan Trachtenberg is going back for his Predator movie as he announces new exciting details for the reboot. Okay, you have to give me more on this. What's the title? What's going on? Give me all the juicy tea from Britain.
Yeah, I'm just trying to find the rest of my notes that I took for this.
Yeah, you can't tease us like that. This is Predator news.
No, I thought I did have the title. I had it here, and now I can't find it. I probably should have.
No, Aaron. This is not acceptable, Aaron. I'm going to stop sharing my screen.
It's not, is it? I had it. I did have it. It's Skull. That's it. It is called Skull, and it is set in medieval times when the first predator comes to Earth. I think there's actually. No, I haven't got the picture, but it's a predator in like kind of ancient garb. That's the one. Yeah,
Skull has more akin to the Revenant than it does any of the films in the Predator canon. Davis reveals, "You'll know what I mean once you see it. The Revenant was well regarded for its brutal depiction of its merciless natural surroundings, something which would certainly work with a man versus Predator battle at its center. It goes back to what made the original Predator work." He explains, comparing the new outing to the beloved 1980s classic starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. "It's the ingenuity of a human being who won't give up, who's able to observe and interpret, basically being able to beat a stronger, more powerful, well-armed force." Okay.
That's interesting to me. I mean, we already know that we know that the Predator wins fight. They don't actually win a lot, do they? These Predators, they always seem to lose.
The first one, no. The second one, well, the first one kind of.
Danny Glover beats one up, so they can't be that tough.
Donald Glover. Well, in the Donald Glover one, they kind of come to a truce.
Yeah, but I think setting it in that kind of ancient time when there's no guns, because that's throwing Arnie up against a Predator with some guns. That's kind of not unfair. Cheating as such, but yeah, he's got an advantage. Whereas if you put it in that medieval setting, where
I would love to see like a gladiator, or even like, a Scottish friggin' crazy guy, or even the Romans. I love to see a Romans, like, because I was watching some crazy films, and there's like one of the Roman cohorts, like one of the legendary ones, disappeared in Gaul at the time, England and Scotland. Could be interesting that they go off, and it's because they fucking fell into a predator that just decimates them. Like, how cool would that be?
Yeah, and Gaul almost rhymes with skull, so
yeah. And it's similar to a Viking one called Outlander. I don't know if you've seen it.
I know of it. Yeah,
it's Eric Bana plays this interstellar guy. He crash lands in the Nordic countries during the Viking periods with this beast that can like kind of have these light up tails. It's kind of cool. Like, it's kind of like, oh, it's a dragon, best way, like, it's an alien, but to the Nordic people, it's a dragon. That could be like where the dragons came from, because aliens landed.
Yeah. So, I just think it's an interesting idea. I think they there was rumors about them doing that sort of thing with the Terminator, sort of sending it back to way before like the 1900s, pre-19th century
industrial times, medieval times, the Wild West. I would love to see, like, that would be kind of interesting, a Terminator in space that kind of like plays on the mythos of what we actually have, like, because there's rumors of autonomous men in the past, or like dragons and demons and these beasts that are just skeletons walking the earth kind of thing, and it just turns out it's just fucking thing from the future kind of, or aliens.
Yeah, Arnold Schwarzenegger just
Arnold's coming back. Yeah, they would need to change the Predator, the Terminator, if they did that. But like, you have to reboot the whole series, something completely new, without Arnold and without anybody from the original. You have to do a complete reboot, and people would be kind of pissed off with that.
Yeah, but I think it's at the point now where those movies have gone so downhill that they can, if they were to do it, it would just have to be on a low budget and just sort of.
I could see like maybe
straight to streaming,
No, not even. I don't think you could need to do it. You completely jump to a different time zone. Like you just forget all Linda Hamilton, you forget all that, and you just do Terminator comes back in time to kill.
Yeah, but he has to have a reason. Otherwise, there's no point traveling back in time. It would have to be an ancestor of Sarah Connor. Otherwise,
Oh, there you go. There you go. There's a great idea. An ancestor of Sarah Connor. There you go.
Yeah. Otherwise, because the whole
thing
point
is
of that,
Sarah Connor. But if with the latest one that came out, which I think it was fantastic, it takes place right after Judgment Day and averting Judgment Day.
I honestly can't remember. All those movies are the same to me now.
No, but the latest one comes back and it's kind of like Terminator's still good, but he's helping.
I've seen it, but because that's the one that Linda Hamilton comes back on, isn't it? And I've seen it, but I don't really remember it because again,
I enjoyed it. But yeah, let's move on for the news. That's another day. Yeah. Do we have any other? No, that's the three. We only had 3 pieces of news this week, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah. I mean, I've got a lot more. I've got so much.
Yeah, but that's for your show.
Yeah, exactly.
This is not your show. This is just a simple 3 T's for you guys. If you want more amazing news, you check out Aaron's podcast that he releases weekly. You can also check out his amazing YouTube channel, which you just released a Suicide Squad quiz.
Yes,
you may or may not have done well on.
Yeah, I won't say either way. It still hurts. No, I'm not getting into it because
I love how you do release these quizzes sporadically through your things. You find these awesome quizzes, you do them, and you film, and it's great. You do trailer reacts as well on your YouTube channel and top 10 lists. Always great stuff on your YouTube channel, and I'm so happy to be working with you for your podcast. Even better, because it's my daily, like I listen to you and I listen to the Weekly Planet to get my pop culture news, and it's awesome. So but I get to listen to yours before really everybody else's, so it's kind of like hey, I get this like backstage pass, so I kind of love that. But again, make sure you go check out his YouTube channel to get all that. But we're going to talk about a movie where you either have to take a red or a blue pill, and I think it's the blue pill that goes back to normalcy, right? It's the red that's bad.
That was 3 movies ago, Phil. Why are you asking me questions like this? Do you know it's the red, because why didn't I take the blue pill? Yeah, it's the red pill that takes them out of the Matrix.
Okay, so I really wish I took a blue pill, because holy shit, this movie, these trilogy of movies.
Yeah, it's all 3. We're not just doing the one.
No, we're doing all 3.
We decided to do all 3, and
the first one is good. It's a little like kind of like nihilistic and very 90s.
Yeah.
Oh my God, is it 90s?
It's. I mean, the longer the time goes on, it looks more and more 90s. That doesn't even make sense. But
yeah,
every time
you grew up in this time, and we're like, no, it was not like that. And then you watch the movie, and you're like, oh yeah, there was a segment of the population that was that.
Yeah, it's just very dark, and it's incredible that movie is so dark. Like you look around, and the brightest thing in that movie is the woman in the red dress.
Yeah,
because she stands out so much, and then you think it makes you realize just how gloomy that movie is.
Oh yeah,
and it's this over the top sci-fi action freak. Like it's I'm not gonna lie, all 3 of these movies are good. After watching them all back, they all have their faults.
These are movies you cannot think. If you start thinking, it's like Back to the Future. That movie, if you the trilogy, if you start thinking during the movie, it's gonna hurt you. But those movies move at a great pace that it's like speed bumps, and it's like, oh, never mind.
With Back to the Future, I think they even kind of hang their hat on it. They even say like, I think Doc Brown has a kind of throwaway line where like
we're gonna take you back to the future, and he points to the camera and that.
Yeah, and it's sort of like, if you think about this, you're not gonna have fun. So with those movies, that you can't think about. But the Matrix, it does not make sense at all. Like there are so many plot holes in this movie that I never really noticed before until I started watching them yesterday.
Yeah.
Like, because I kind of wanted to throw my like kind of cynic hat on it. I wanted to throw my reviewer hat on it. Again, these movies are a lot better than what I remember, but because of those plot holes, maybe I was going to say it makes them better than what I remember because I'm really looking for it now, and I'm really I'm enjoying these movies. They're really good, but there's so much wrong with them.
So we hear when you do a podcast about movies, and I've noticed this more when I've been on other podcasters' podcasts and having the Real Boys every Monday and Friday go live and we review movies, and of course this one, and doing over 100 episodes. You end up watching you have to watch movies in one of two parts. You either have to watch it as, oh, I'm going to watch this to be entertained. So you turn off your brain and you're in entertainment mode. Like, take me away on this mythical fantasy. And if I have to think, okay, but generally I'm not watching a movie to think. And when you go and watch a movie that's just pure entertainment like this, or Back to the Future, and you start putting on that critical, because you're reviewing the movie and you have to look at it from not as a fandom, but as someone separate, and remove that emotion, it kind of sucks.
Yeah, that is. I had such a struggle. I think we did speak about it before we went live. That just how mentally drained I am after watching these movies. Because like you say, you can watch it one of two ways: for entertainment or for critique. But the whole time I was like this. If you're listening, you can't see this, but I was very up and down.
You're making the wave.
Yeah, I was entertained, but the whole time I was like, well, that doesn't make sense. Why is he doing that? You know, I didn't mean to do it like that. I just wanted to go in and watch them and think, right, I'll just get it over and done with. We know the first one's a classic and it's brilliant, even though it still doesn't make sense.
For those that are just tuning in live, because I know some people jump in and out of the live stream, we're reviewing the Matrix trilogy of movies, and let us know what you think of it. Leave a comment on the social media. If you're listening to this as an audio, go to Check It Out Feel Better Show on Instagram, Twitter, and Facebook, or leave us a comment in the show notes if you're watching this on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch, or anywhere like that. Go ahead.
And again, like, each movie individually is good and enjoyable, but the running plot that goes through the whole thing.
There was one moment in the second one where I'm like, this is not needed.
Oh, there's many points in these movies.
The whole there is one complete plot point that I just think they were like, let's see how gratuitous we can make this movie. It's the whole sex dance scene in Zion in the second one. It's
I get.
And then you have this passionate kind of it's cutting between this orgy of bodies dancing and kind of having sex or simulating
I thought
sex.
I saw boobs, but I'm not sure.
There's a lot of boobs. There are boobs.
Yeah, because
they're wearing sheer or see-through plasticky things in the post.
I'll tell you where that scene would make sense at the end of the third one. Let's celebrate the fact that we've just won the war. Air quotes. They won the war, even though they didn't, because all the robots just fucked off. They didn't win. They just
they don't.
Yeah, but they don't even know that. I'm jumping right to the end of this because I've literally just watched it like an hour ago.
Yeah, it's fine.
That kid runs in and he's like, the war's over. We're saved. Neo did it. You don't know that. You don't know what's happening.
Yeah. The monsters just left.
Yeah, they just turned around and went. For all you know, they could be,
they're amassing in the back. They're like, okay, get the guns ready. Yeah, all right, we're ready, boys. Second round, let's go.
Let's just turn into one big robot and just stomp on everyone. Yeah. They don't know that the war's won. It's stupid, but
you're getting this kind of tick, 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 then pff, orgy time. Let's go. It's the 70s porno. I could see that moment, and it's intersecting with moments where Neo and Trinity are being romantic, and it's this, and I'm sorry, I got hot and bothered. I was like, woo, shit, girl. Yeah. But it was. I was I need my parents to cover my eyes at some points. Wow, this is too.
You have to reach for the cushion and just.
Yeah, it's just covered over. Luckily, I was alone while I was watching this, so I was like, okay, I'm not going to be embarrassed. But yeah, it is insane. That scene just stops and you're like, where are we going with this movie? And then it goes, okay, let's go, and it just shifts into 6th, and you're speeding down. All of a sudden, it's this huge thing, and you're like, whoa, we went 0 to 60 too quick. Like, no, you can't do that. We just came off this romantic moment. You know, there's orgies playing out. My hormones are all over, and now you're just jumping the gun to action. I need a moment. Give me a cigarette.
Yeah, it's like they thought we need some kind of sex scene in here because we've got Neo and Trinity that fell in love after 2 minutes, which I still don't understand.
It's because he's so gorgeous and he's the one.
Yeah, but I get why she fell in love with him, but it just happened so quickly.
Yeah,
I know it's the power of, you know,
the movie needed it to happen as well to make.
Yeah, the movie needed it to happen, but like the idea was placed into her head that you're going to fall in love with the one. They are so convinced that he's the one that she's kind of tricked herself that she's in love with him. I'm fine with all of that, but it's like they felt like they needed to have a scene with those two having sex, and they're like, where can we put this? We can't do it at the end because, spoiler alert, they both die. So let's just put it here in the middle of this movie. Let's have a dance party, you know, even though there's a war going on and we're actually running against the clock because they're actually supposed to be going back out to try and stop the Sentinels coming. So yeah, let's just have sex. But it's, you know, why? No. Yeah, a lot of these movies don't make sense, but at the same time, they're really good.
There's so much. And then you have the weird CG live action fight between Neo and Agent Smith.
Do you know what? That's like, because I watch these movies and I'm watching them and very much paying attention to them, but I'm only keeping kind of one eye on them. I'm not gonna lie, I was doing other stuff while these movies were.
This is a movie that, like, you realize, like, okay, if I watch this like full bore, I'm not gonna have a fun time. But if I can tune in and flow in and out of it, it's fine.
Like with all these movies that I review, I've seen them hundreds of times, but I always try and watch them just before the show, just to, you know, remind me of everything that really happens. But I specifically watched that scene because I've heard the Weekly Planet boys discuss it a lot, and even though I remember it, I'm just like really looking out for the bad CGI, and it is bad. You know, it's horrible. Like the 90% of that scene is very well done, you know, with, you know, because you
doubles and masks. Like, I actually caught someone in an actual Smith mask getting his ass kicked. Like, it's a blink and you miss it type moment.
Yeah, it's all
but I
very
appreciated it because everybody kind of looks like Smith. You know, what's his name?
Hugo
Weaving. Like, there's like either the same height because you have the overshot. Like, you can tell when it switches from real life to CGI composites.
Yeah, but like when you watch behind the scenes stuff, they're all on wires. Like a lot of these action stuff is done real time, and you know they're just on wires because obviously they can't do some of the stuff that they do.
Yeah.
But like you say, then it just cuts to the CGI. Whilst watching that, I was just thinking, why not just not do the CGI? Sorry, my wife is trying to post a letter under my door. Okay. I'm going to read this out.
Live on air. Live feedback from fans. Come on. Let's go.
It's not a fan. It's my wife. It doesn't count.
Yes, it does. If she's tuning in, it counts.
She said, you just don't like the sex scene because you're not getting any. Right.
I guess she's talking to me because you're married. Wait, no, she's probably talking to both of us. Are you guys in a tiff?
No, we're just married. No, yeah, they didn't need to put that CGI in there. Like, I'm not going to let her throw me off. She can't do that. She needs to do better than that.
Okay. She's throwing me off. I'm just laughing because it's hilarious.
Yeah, I mean, the rest of the scene.
Oh, is she coming in the show?
No, there's not enough room in here. I'm very much cramped in here as it is. She's just trying to put me off. The whole scene is fine except for that one bit where they don't need to use that CGI because they do it again at the end of the third one, the final battle between Smith and Neo.
Yeah.
But it's at night and in the rain and you can't see their faces. So it looks a whole lot better. So I don't know why they had to do it there when they didn't need to. They could have just, some of the scenes where they used the CGI, they could have, I don't know, not shown their faces as much or just use the wires and actually have the two actors fighting. They could have just made it so much better. But I think Nick Mason says a lot. They only did it because they thought they could.
Yeah.
At a time when they shouldn't.
They didn't ask whether or not they should.
Yeah. Again, it's 2000. So
Yeah.
For the time, that's amazing. That was incredible, and that was groundbreaking. But now it's painful. It's very painful. So yeah, you kind of have to take that scene with a pinch of salt. Like I watched it because I wanted to, and it's really good. Like the fight choreography in these movies is incredible. I could just sit there and watch an hour of Keanu Reeves fighting everyone, and I'd be happy with that. Like in the second movie when he fights his way out of the Merovingian's mansion, incredible.
Oh yeah, that is an awesome, and I love he uses the size and like locks the Asian guy and knocks him out, and then later on it just like shoots to him, and he's like,
yeah, and it's great. It's very old school.
Kung fu. Like you can tell that they were influenced heavily by Japanese and Chinese kung fu movies. I was
going to say the sort of fights that they do reminds me of like Jackie Chan, because he's using his environment, and the way that he does it is very like reminiscent to what Jackie Chan used to do. But yeah, like the fighting is just it's second to none. I don't think there's any better fight scenes out there than what are in this, because they're so quick and so fast.
Yeah, when it's not CGI'd.
Yeah, but yeah, that's what I mean. Like the stuff that is not CGI'd, you'd think would be, but it's not. Like you can see that it's really happening, and it's so fast. Like the choreography is just incredible. I could sit there and watch it for.
Oh yeah, if you took out all the story and just left the fights, these movies are just like boom, 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 heavy action points. Some of the storyline does drop it and makes it a little harder. Like the second one is like way esoteric. Like I'm like, whoa, we're asking a lot of questions here for us to believe this shit. Yeah, but also at the same time, you can see it as the Gen Xers yelling at the boomers.
Do you know what? I'm actually going to try and watch these movies again soon and actually try and pay attention. So. I want to know what the plot is, because I still don't know what it is. I know that they're fighting these robots because they use them as batteries, and it's, you know, a couple of 100 years in the future. But I don't understand.
Oh, it's right now. You may be in the Matrix.
Oh no. No, I'd have a better life than this if that was true. Everything would taste better and the steak would be nicer. So yeah, no, I still don't know what the plot is. I don't understand what Neo is. I know he's the one, and he's, you know, Superman, but I don't know why.
I like that. Yeah, he's Superman. This is from what I understand. Happens. There's a critical moment of
between the vampires.
No, not the vampires. Between the Architect and Neo, where Neo needs to make the choice.
Yeah, so because it's happened before.
This is ongoing. So humanity is locked in this battle, and every single Neo situation, when Neo pops up, the Architect learns and betters the program for humanity.
Yeah.
And what he needs to, because he knows that we can never live, because there's always going to be people questioning, like the conspiracy theorists and all them, always going to be questioning. That's the reason why he creates Zion. And he says to him, you get to pick 18, like so many men and so many women or whatever, to recreate Zion, and then we restart the cycle again. So Zion in essence, it's kind of like how Emperor Palpatine created the rebellion and then ended up creating the Galactic Empire. The computers are just doing that. You have the Oracle, who, you know, is constantly trying to free the world and go back to what it is, but you have the Architect trying to remake. They're both working together because they both want to survive. So that's the reason why. And you have Neo, his thing is he wants to destroy the machines finally, and then it's whatever the story happens. Like, I don't know, like it's weird.
Yeah, I get a lot of that, but I'm just like, because they keep referencing the first, like the first guy that kind of stood up to the machines and the Matrix and the system. But it's like, was he human, or was he an algorithm or something? It's
someone that completely understands the Matrix.
But if he did, then how did he die? Surely if he understood it, he could have stopped it.
Listen, I don't know this movie. Like they're coming out, like you said on your last episode, they're coming out with an episode, movie 4 where Trinity goes back in time or tries to find Neo or some crazy fucking thing.
I'll tell you the other, just briefly, really quickly, the thing that stopped me from getting really into these movies as well is knowing the fact that Will Smith was supposed to be Neo and Sean Connery was supposed to be Morpheus. Yeah, they offered Morpheus to Sean Connery and he didn't understand it. Yeah, James
Makes
Bond
sense.
himself.
We don't even understand it, and it's like 20 years later.
Yeah, but like when I was watching the first half of the first movie, I was watching Will Smith and Sean Connery, and it is a much better movie.
Well, at the same time, I'm looking at this movie, and this is kind of like it came out before 2000, so we had, the Y2K situation.
Yeah.
A lot of people were scared because the internet was booming, and people were like, oh no, AI is going to take over, and monsters, because they've been inundated with movies from like the 80s and that of technology taking over. So it's Gen X going, no, humanity can always win, and it's kind of like pushing the narrative that machine and algorithmic and automation is bad, when no, we're working hand in hand with machines daily to make our lives easier, and it's just getting more and more. So I think that's what it is. It's kind of like a conflict, the old versus the new, but at the same time, if I'm in the Matrix, I really wish I could fly.
I don't think I'd be as good as the one, but I'd give it a good go. Like you'd have to, wouldn't you? Like if you saw 2 black cats walk past, you'd have to try and punch through a wall or something. Although I have 2 black cats, so I probably shouldn't do that.
Yeah, no, but if you see the same black cat, go back and forth.
Yeah, but
do the exact same motion.
I just love it. Like Keanu Reeves is like he's such a great actor, but he's so wooden, and he's just
so young in this movie as well.
I know, and he's just like whoa, and he's just like, he says it a lot. He says whoa a lot, and it's just like this is brilliant. It's so funny, and he's such a good actor, but he's Keanu Reeves, isn't he? Like he's got no emotion. He's so wooden. It's brilliant. Like again, spoiler alert, the last scene where Trinity dies, he starts crying, and I laughed.
Oh, you're a horrible human being.
Yeah, no, I mean it's really good, but it's just like it's Keanu Reeves. Again, I love the man. I think he's brilliant. I think he's amazing. But so I don't know. He's just always on one plane, isn't he? It's just incredible.
He's on another plane. We're coming to the end here, so we're going to give our ratings. How many computers or cell phones do you give this movie?
I want to go high. I want to go like 8 or 9. I think it's just because I'm mentally drained.
Well, the trilogy, not just the first one. All 3 movies.
No, for all 3, it's like a 6 or a 7, because the through line of the actual story, when you can't follow it, is to its detriment, because the story is the main point of these movies. It's a story, but if you can't follow the story, then you kind of just have to rely on the action and the incredible set pieces and the CGI. So yeah, it's like a 6 or 7. If I understood it, I'd say like 8 or 9, because it would just make it so much better, and you can actually enjoy it a lot better. So I'm going with 6 or 7 until I rewatch them, and I can come back and tell you what the story is, because I still don't know.
We'll forever wonder what's the story. So 6 or 7 cell phones and computers for this, because we're logging into the Matrix. I have to say 6.5.
I think that's what I'll go with as well, like 6.5, right in the middle of 6 and 7.
Yeah, it's fun entertainment, but there are so many plot holes, like the famous line from Arnold Schwarzenegger, I can drive my Hummer through it. I need to get an audio clip of that and just play it.
Do it.
That would be friggin' wicked. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I am, of course, Phil Better. He is Aaron Talks Film. Aaron, where can they find you? Tell them about you and all that fun stuff.
It is, again, Aaron Talks Films across the board. Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, TikTok, Twitter. Everywhere. Just type in Aaron Talks Films and you'll find me in any kind of social media platform.
Yes, I love it. And of course, in the show notes down below, you can find it, all the links to his stuff, all nice and beautiful. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm Phil Better. I'm the Podcast Mogul. My stuff is down below. The show stuff is down below as well. Make sure you reach out, send us some love. Let us know what you think of The Matrix on our social media posts. And remember, we love your face and stay hydrated.
Stay classy.